Hey you guys, it's Britt. Today I'm here to answer most of the questions that you left for me on my community tab. So if you're interested, please keep watching. All right, you guys, so I'm gonna do this Q&A a little bit differently. Instead of answering every single question, the ones that I've hit on before, I'm gonna skip over just because I think it can become really repetitive to just say the same things over and over again. So I want to focus more on ones that I don't really talk about or haven't touched on in other videos. So the first one is from Jen, and she said, when did you first realize you wanted to start making content? Is your channel different than you originally imagined it to be? And what do you do for work? So the first part of that, I had been consuming YouTube for a really long time when I decided to, start uploading to my channel. And I had seen this wave of beauty gurus come and go. I had seen a lot of really just disingenuous people on the platform that I had lost interest in because I was either tired of the content that they were putting out, or I watched them go from someone who seemed really approachable and relatable to me to living in a mega mansion in LA and driving a Tesla. And to me, it got a little frustrating to watch that happen to not only one person, but many who I supported. And, if you support someone when they're small and you don't care about that drastic of a lifestyle change, then that's your journey. But for me, I like to see people change, but I don't necessarily like to see them change in the flex culture manner. And I think that happens to so many people. It's so hard to stay grounded and not want to flex on everyone that, helped put you in this position. So I made the decision that I was going to just put stuff out onto my channel. I was, very into makeup. I was utilizing the experience that I had from Max still in my daily makeup routine. And I just felt like if I can put some beauty content out, but I can also mix it with once in a while sharing my opinion on, I would have talked about like Dramageddon when the first one happened. If I can share my opinion once in a while, then I think that would be an interesting kind of mashup of content, because typically you had like drama commentary channels and then you had beauty channels, but you didn't really have a mix of both, at least based on the people that I was coming across. So I thought that would be a really cool way to mix up my content. And as time went on, I knew that I liked commentary because whether or not anyone likes it, I will always share my unsolicited opinion on public topics and public stories. Obviously, my content has changed quite a bit where I don't really include a lot of beauty stuff. And honestly, the reason that I don't include beauty stuff like I used to is because I feel like so much of beauty content is focused on telling people what to buy and constantly doing favorites and constantly doing a get ready with me where you're showing anywhere from 20 to 50 products that, your subscriber might not have in their collection. And I don't ever want to feel like my content is a sales pitch. So I really like sharing my unfiltered, unsolicited opinion. And I started to get away from that commercialized content. So I focus more on commentary, and I started to get a little bit of traction. I realized that, wow, people actually care about what I have to say. That is a brand new concept to me. But I kept going with it, and I realized that that's really where I enjoy making content, is in the commentary space. I also love doing the vlogs for you guys and just talking about random stuff, but I just don't feel okay with constantly selling to people, constantly telling people about 50 new products at Sephora and how I spent $500 at Ulta. Once in a while, I like to show stuff in passing, but if that was 50 or more % of my content, I would not feel good as a person, but that's just me. And the last part of her question was, what do you do for work? And the most general way for me to explain what I do is that I am currently in an executive assistant role. I used to work in finance, but I left that, as many of you guys know, and now the most cookie cutter way that I can explain it is executive assistant. So to put it simply, I'm currently an executive assistant and I'm super happy with my job. I love the work-life balance that I have. I love the schedule that I have. And I just feel so grateful that I was able to make that transition this year. And it has completely changed my life for the better. So the next question is from Sarah, and she said, if black wasn't an option to wear, what would the next color you would go to in the rainbow? Not judging, because blacks and neutrals are my favorites to wear too. I really love, I'll try to find a comparison and throw it in for you guys, but I love that dark, dirty olive green. I absolutely love that color. I think it looks so good on so many different skin tones. I love it on myself. So definitely like a dirty olive green, or eggplant is also awesome. I love that dark, rich purple color. So definitely one of those. The next question comes from Nancy, and she said, if you could select one channel, regardless of the YouTube community it's a part of, who would you throw a street party for if their channel got removed completely? I considered if I was going to answer this question or not, and I really don't want this to turn into a situation where I'm picking on any one person. But what I will say is any channel that is disguising themselves as a commentary channel and they are blatantly bullying people, defaming them, dragging them through the mud, taking any opportunity to pick apart anything that this other person does, I don't know if I would throw a party, but I would say that it's karma at its finest. And I think that with Real Entertainment News having his channel terminated by YouTube, I said in that video, I think that other channels need to have their ears and eyes open, because even though we have free speech and I'm not for people being silenced, I'm also for people following terms of service if there is terms of service to follow. And when you have a YouTube channel, you're not allowed to utilize your platform to bully people and to make fun of the way that they look, or be racist or homophobic, or just completely annihilate someone any opportunity that you get. So any of those types of channels, I would say karma, keep your mouth shut if you don't know how to deliver actual commentary. But I don't really want to pick on one specific person, but I'm sure that you guys have the same select few in mind that I do. Okay, so Linda said, I love how your car seat wraps around you. Would you share your basic car information? So I don't want to give too much info out, but I do drive an Acura, and I've had Acuras. This is my third one. I absolutely love Acuras. I think that they are really just great cars. They're easy to maintain, good gas mileage, comfortable, no issues. So if you're looking for a brand, I would say go to Acura, and they're also not super pricey, especially if you buy one that's 2 or 3 years old. That's what I did, and my car is going on 3 years old, and I could not be happier with it. Okay, next one is from Holly, and she said, are you doing okay? And we love you, Britt and Axel. Happy holidays. I appreciate this so much. I've said before, I think a lot of you guys are very in tune with sort of the nonsense that can happen within some of these smaller communities, and I don't really want to go into a lot of detail right now about that, but I appreciate that, and I'm going to elaborate on this a little bit later because there's another question regarding this. But I'm super familiar with how parasocial relationships work and how they can definitely turn sour, and it can give someone It can give someone the wrong idea depending on how you utilize it. So I never want to have inappropriate parasocial relationships with anyone. I will talk to any of you guys that email me or DM me or leave a comment. And I don't want this to be viewed as a way that I'm like being manipulative because, you know, I'm so evil and cruel. But you guys really do keep me going. If it was not for my community, I don't know that I would have persevered through this last year, because there have been a couple of times where I felt like shit was flying at me from every different angle that it could. People were nitpicking. They were being extremely vile and cruel in their commentary towards me. And, you know, I've addressed when I have screwed up or when I've had a bad take. And it sort of seems like there are some people on YouTube where they cannot have a bad take. And most of you guys remember the video that I did on Peter. I was sent a clip. I had a knee-jerk reaction to that clip because, as you guys know, I am a insane dog lover. I love all animals, but dogs just are my heart. And I had a bad take, and I shouldn't have reacted so quickly to that. But what did I do? I took the video down. I donated the AdSense to my local animal shelter. I vlogged the whole thing, showed the receipt, showed the AdSense from my YouTube studio, and I proceeded. After I posted the apology on my community tab, that's still on my community tab, and I'm not going to delete it for a little while longer because I don't want anyone to be able to say, oh, well, she deleted it, she doesn't care, because it seems like I'm damned if I do and damned if I don't. So the lesson that I've taken from that is A, you know, don't have such a knee-jerk reaction, even if it's something that you're passionate about. But secondly, when a YouTuber has a bad take and they do the right thing, allow it to be history. It doesn't need to be dissected and used against them for the next 9 months. It's absolutely ridiculous how this has continued to follow me, and it's continued to be, you know, people would swear that I just like didn't do anything, or the video's still up, or I deleted the video and then ran away from my channel. I owned up to it, just like I will in the future if I ever have another bad take like that. But it is so ridiculous. I always say with a lot of YouTubers, it's like rules for thee, but not for me. The rules that I talk about as far as not being a garbage person, I follow myself. So if a YouTuber has a bad take and owns up to it, and it's something as innocent as a knee-jerk reaction to a video, we're not talking about, you know, animal abuse or exploiting your kids or scamming your subscribers. Allow it to rest if the person owned up to it and moved on. That little situation was blown up to such a clusterfuck, and everyone got their little content out of it. But with hindsight being 2020, I think that a lot of people ended up looking like idiots, if I'm being completely honest. Because what else do you want? Do you want me to walk across hot coals for the next 12 months? I did what I felt was right. The next question comes from WebMDMA. Thoughts on the drama channel community, aka dumb high school type YouTube drama channels, not commentary channels. I think that a lot of them use conflict for content, and I've talked about this in the past. A lot of people don't have they want to be on YouTube, but they're not creative enough to actually, you know, deliver any content unless it is them sad fishing or getting into it with fellow YouTubers. But you can tell these channels a mile away because they are constantly recycling the same old crap that they've been involved in, and it's constantly taking a new avenue to be able to somehow dissect it even further. And they're constantly saying that they're the victims, even though they've been shown to be extremely rude on their own channels. I always think it's kind of funny when I see these channels though, because they are the type to make a boulder out of a little piece of sand, and it's what some people are really interested in. That some people like to see these, you know, mini dramas that happen within a lot of these small communities, and it's entertaining for them. For me, I avoid it at all costs, and I don't want to bring drama to my channel. Once in a while, I, you know, have had to address some things, but as far as, can you imagine if I reacted to every single video that someone put out about me? And then I took other parts of those videos and made reactions about that. And then I went into comment sections of other people's channels and talked about subscribers that had a, you know, rude opinion about me. That would eat up my channel. But I would guarantee that people would lose interest very quickly. And I'm here to keep things moving, keep things progressing. And, you know, if people have opinions, then they're entitled to those. But I will not sit on 4 or 5 hour live streams and get on panels with people and then talk about comments and talk about this and talk about that. It's just recycled. And I think that when you see channels like this, to me, what it really does is it shows their lack of creativity, because that is what their content is. That's all it is, nothing more. Okay, so the next question is from Joyce, and she said, I think I may be old enough to be your mom since my daughters are in their 20s. LOL, you seem wiser than your actual age. Plus, I love me some Axel. Also, what's your favorite Christmas movie? Ours is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. We always watch it on Christmas Eve. So my favorites are obviously Home Alone. And I like Home Alone 2 as well, but I don't like any of the other remakes after that. And A Christmas Story, and It's a Wonderful Life. I know that a lot of people like those like Hallmark Christmas movies. I can't really get into them. I like the classics though. I remember when I was younger, I would watch The Santa Claus with Tim Allen. There were a few times where I watched that, but as far as stuff that I've continued to watch as an adult, Home Alone every single year, A Christmas Story every single year, and usually I'll do It's a Wonderful Life on Christmas Eve, because they always show it on Christmas Eve. Let's see, next is from Liz, and she said, how do you like your coffee? So I don't like drip coffee, and on the rare occasion that I do go to Starbucks, I like a latte. So I just can't do drip coffee no matter where it's from. I need to have hot milk with espresso, and I can drink that. But even then, I'll get like a vanilla latte or something sweet. I can't, I just don't like the bitter taste that coffee has. And I feel like at this point in my life, if I don't like it, I probably never will. Okay, Michelle. Oh, Michelle. Michelle's been a really long time subscriber. She said, I know that Axel won't be getting a sibling until you move into a house. Are you thinking that will happen soon? Will you stay in the same area close to dad? Yes. So hopefully next year. I can't say for sure. I hope. We'll see. I don't want to like, you know, jinx anything, but I'm hoping next year. And yes, I will always stay close to my dad. You know, in a picture perfect world, I would have him live with me, or, you know, live with us. But we'll see. Time will tell. You know, we have to actually move first. Okay. Jules said, I love car chats, but I miss your old Get Ready With Me videos. Would you consider doing a makeup video every once in a while? Yeah, I definitely can. I've heard from a few of you that you do miss those. Like I said, you know, part of the reason that I got away from them is because I felt like listing all of those products that I used in my description box was a way that I was commercializing my content. And I know that people want to know what I'm using. That's the whole point of a Get Ready With Me. So maybe the answer or the solution to that would be to just do them once in a while. And then that way I don't feel like it's too often, and you guys can get them once in a while. So hopefully that will work. I will put it on my list and get one done for you guys here soon. Lisa. So Lisa said, what do you want to be when you grew up? She wanted to be a writer. So for me, when I was really young, I really wanted to be a veterinarian. But then once I got a little bit older, I realized that you have to have literally like a heart of steel to be able to be a veterinarian. I could never deal with the, pet loss and stuff like that. So initially a veterinarian, but I grew out of that very quickly. Okay, so this is kind of like a multiple questions, but Sticky Mess said, what was the best memory and worst memory? So I don't really know what specifically that means, but I'm assuming from maybe my childhood. And best memories are definitely any time that I spent with my grandmother. You guys know that my relationship with her was very, very important to me. So, and it didn't even have to be anything special. Just hanging out at her house, having lunch, watching TV, something really simple. That's definitely what fills up all of my best memories. And, Christmas is with my dad, and just, playing in my backyard with my yellow lab that I grew up with. All of the simple stuff, those are all of my best memories. Definitely like beach trips that we would go on, and I have tons, which I'm very thankful for. She asked about 5, 10, 50-year plan. I try to not plan that far in advance because it kind of freaks me out. But as far as a short-term goal that I'd like to meet, and that's definitely to be able to get into a house with a yard for Axel. It's really important for me. And so I would say that that's kind of the goal that is next in line for me. Okay, so Britt said, do you watch all of the Washington football team games? Yes, I do. We've been a long time, lifetime fans. So there is once in a while where I might miss a game, but if I do, I will look at the recaps. But I do my best to watch it, even if I'm doing stuff around the house. It's just part of who we are. Okay, so Monique said, how do you deal with people talking negative about you? I like how you don't give them the time of day. You aren't the one to get into drama. It really shows your character, keeping you and never change. Unfortunately, it's part of being on YouTube, and I realized that really early on. Once I'm putting myself out there, people have the right to react to it. But the thing that I've seen is, and this kind of goes back to what I was talking about earlier, there are so many channels that want to sit there and say that they're commentary channels, and you give them 5 minutes of your life to hear them out, and they come out within the first 5 minutes talking about someone's voice, the way that I look. Why is my face oily? I'm a snobby bitch. I am a mean girl. I'm a gang leader. So I have yet to hear any valid criticism from most of these channels. Now, as far as maybe being snobby, I guess that's perception, which you're allowed to perceive me however it is that you want. I've always said it's confidence. It's not being a snobby bitch. It took me a very long time to build the confidence that I do have. And I've said in other videos before that it takes a lot to get used to talking to a camera lens and feeling comfortable delivering a video. So if I have changed a little bit over the last, call it 1.5 years or so, it's because I have finally adjusted to talking to a camera lens as if you're sitting right in front of me and we're sitting here having today I have tea, So people can say whatever it is that they want. If I don't say anything, I'll give you guys an example. When I bought that candle, there was a stupid video made getting all over me about buying that candle and reacting. Okay, so I'm not allowed to react to comments, but other people are? I don't get that. You're allowed to have an opinion, but I'm not. And this is like a distorted reality that a lot of these commentary channels live in. So therefore, I decide to ignore them completely and act like they don't exist. So UK Immigration Law Geek said, in your YouTube career, what do you think has been your biggest mistake? I'm not writing this to be rude, but we all do things at the time. We thought we were doing the right thing. Definitely my Peter Mon video, because I did react quickly and I had a lot of passion, and I should have waited and done more digging before I published that video. Now, granted, my slip up has created tons of content for those who can't stand me, so good luck with that. But even though it was what I would consider my biggest mistake, I also know that I did the right thing at the end of the day. So if there are people that still want to talk about it a year later, then good luck to you. Why don't you look for some creativity and content while you're digging to the center of my YouTube channel and you're making boulders out of grains of sand. Some of these people just really need hobbies. I don't think that doing YouTube full-time is for some people. And by the way, I don't do YouTube full-time, so I'm not putting myself on a pedestal. I'm just saying some of the nonsense that I see is just ridiculous. So Jean said, for someone so young, how did you get so wise and sensible? Plus, what is Axel getting for Christmas? You know, I don't think I'm the wisest. I try to be logical as often as I can. You know, I think that it definitely speaks to how I was raised and the lessons that were instilled in me at a young age and the values that were taught to me, you know, as a young girl. And those are just things that I didn't forget as time went on. I've carried them with me, and I've tried to, you know, put them not only obviously my real life, but also my time online. And I will continue to do so because I think so far it's worked pretty well. As far as what's Axel getting for Christmas, I'll be honest, every day is Christmas around here with Axel. There is not a day that goes by that he does not get something or some kind of snack or a special treat. So we will probably get him a couple of things, but honestly, he's so spoiled, I can't even describe it. Oh, the other Lisa said, who do you resemble the most, your mom or dad? I think I resemble my dad more, but there are certain times where I resemble my mom. I think it just kind of depends on my age, and also, you know, am I wearing makeup or no makeup? But most of the time, I think that I resemble my dad, and that's what I've been told. Okay, so the other Lisa said, what's your dream vacation? Anywhere tropical, Bali, take me to Bali, somewhere with, you know, hot weather and white sand, then I'm happy. Okay, so Nat said, what's your favorite music? Definitely old school hip hop. I love Mac Miller. You know, a lot of the new artists I'm just not really into. So I would say anything from the early 90s through the late 2000s is my favorite. I love it. And then Karen said, how are you really? I think I hit on that earlier. I'm good. We're gonna persevere and move forward and leave all of the idiots in 2021. So the last question is from Black Bomb, and they said, talk about how to be an ally for minorities, what to do and what not to do. I think that recognition is a really big thing. I feel like a lot of people want to deny the fact that racism is alive and well in our country, and it's undeniable that it's here, and you know, people go through it every single day. So definitely don't deny what's right outside your front door. Even if it's not physically outside your front door, you have to have a broader lens and recognize what's going on in this country. I would also say, listen, always have your ears open and be willing to listen to someone who is a minority and listen to how they feel and what their thoughts and opinions are around a lot of the issues that we have. Educate yourself. If you feel like you're uneducated or you're ignorant in one topic or another when it comes to, you know, how to be an ally or how not to be an ally, educate yourself and read a book, do some research, because knowledge is wealth. And if you have a little bit more knowledge, then you will be able to start to instill these things that you learn into your way of living. And in turn, if you feel like you're someone who was ignoring the fact that racism exists, or homophobia, or trans, any of these terrible things, maybe with the education, it will open your eyes to what's going on. And as far as what not to do, don't invalidate the way that someone feels. Don't tell them that they're wrong. Don't ignore them. Just be there and be present and have your ears open and your mouth shut. And I think that there can be a lot of really valuable pieces of information taken from minorities. All right, guys, so those are all the questions I'm going to answer for today. I will make sure that I start doing Q&As more often. I realize that you guys really like them, and like I said, I can filter out the stuff that I've already touched on, because I do like for these videos to be somewhat manageable as far as time that it takes to watch them. So hopefully this one's not too bad, but either way, we will have another one coming up. So for now, if you like the video, please leave a like and a comment, and if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.